Well, there are numerous challenges. I think challenge number one is political. We've got so many different organisations trying to give advice, pulling people, invested interest, pulling in different directions, which just adds to the confusion. So, if we had political guidance from the top saying, right, guys, this is what we want you to do. So I think that's challenge number one.
I think more and more it's environmental weather challenges. I think we can talk about the market and stuff, but if the weather, but we farm at a quite high up, yeah, quite, and we get extremes of weather, so we can be very dry in the summer and very wet. Some also wet in the summer, but really wet in the winter and really windy. So the weather can, this year, for example, the really wet summer has caused chaos with our harvest.
I don't think it has quite stopped raining, or it feels like it, from July 2023 till July 2024. Now we're in August 2024. We have at least seen the start of summer. So the main challenges have been access to dry fields. We've got a mixture of soil types, so when we first turn out we try and go and access the ones with the most grass on, that if we get more rainfall we can save some of the drier fields with slightly sandier soils, but this year everything was wet.
An area of concern to farmers with those reducing direct payments specifically. So when that was announced, for some farmers, especially kind of the beef and lamb sector, they were quite reliant on the direct payments they were getting when we were part of the EU. So that was quite a challenge. And then this development phase of policy, the uncertainty around that. However, kind of especially kind of over the last 12 months, as more things have come in with SFI, it's becoming more like a complete package, as you'd call it. It's more about helping farmers understand how to implement some of those things on farm as well. And then another one I'd say is probably the input cost side of things, especially the last couple of years. So we saw the spike in fertilizer costs, which is sort of settling down. Along with that had the fuel and the energy prices spike, which then impacted feed costs.
Or one of the main problems I would say I probably see, so I work with a lot of conventional dairy farmers on various milk contracts, and I don't think necessarily that farmers are paid enough for the milk that they produce, and often you end up in a bit of a debt system. So a lot of my dairy farmers will be in an awful lot of debt. They've often been, the situation is where we don't pay enough for our milk products. Farmers are generally going to want to produce more of it in order to be able to make some kind of a profit. And so what we can see is farmers that are in a lot of debt who don't have any other option other than to produce more and more milk. That puts more pressure on their system. It can put more pressure on their finances. It can put more pressure on them as well. So I think that's one of the big issues I see, is how do we pay farmers effectively for producing what is a very good quality product when it's often paid half the price of a bottle of water.